Welcome back to the Comic Book Bullies with Nerdist New Bully. I'm your host, Leroy, a.k.a. Mr. Monday Morning, with my co-hosts.
Yeah, this is Eli, a.k.a. the sleeper who has woken his ass up.
Which is why we're recording late. And yes, we are back with another episode. And yeah, we're just going to keep it going, Eli. Like I said, we got you have a lot of topics on this podcast this time. So no lollygagging. We're just going to jump right into it.
Just get right to it. This is
exactly.
No lube, no Vaseline.
Exactly, nothing. I almost punched the guy when he said lollygagging for the first time. I've never lollygagged a thing in my life. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh, let's go. Well, before you get into it, Eli, let me get into it. Let me just briefly, you might jump into this also, but we're just going to go into it.
Okay.
Let's talk about your boy, Jeff Bezos.
Okay. Yeah,
you know,
he's my boy, yeah.
Yeah, the billionaire. I mean, you just kiss his ass much you want to because he gave somebody, I think, like $1 million the other day just for kissing his ass.
He was technically my boss for a few months, yeah. I've worked at Amazon. I did work at an Amazon warehouse.
Are we streaming on Amazon? He technically might be our boss too. I don't know. Let's see. Gay. What it is the Eli episode. It is all about Eli's time. All Eli, all the time.
Exclusive.
Exactly.
Uncut. Raw and uncut.
I will be over here smoking a cigarette, watching Netflix while Eli just takes over the show. Here we go. Bye. No, before he get into it, let me start. Let me say my piece before I have to get out of here. All right. So, like I said, we're going to talk about Jeff Bezos for a quick second. Not too long. We're just going to jump into it because, like I said, he is not the first billionaire to go out in space this year, but the second.
I guess.
I think so. Like I said, everyone don't know who Jeff Bezos is. He's the CEO of Amazon. You have spent money with him. You afforded him the price to go in space. So he thanks you. So yes. And he was also, what was the name of that ship? The Blue Virgin? The Blue what? Origin?
Blue Origin, yes. That's
what it was. Okay. Please screw that name up. Now, here's the thing, Eli. The reason I want to talk about this, now I'm not going to turn this into a whole Eat the Rich podcast like that. That's Gomer's wheelhouse. I'm not doing that. I just want to keep it light and just want to say one thing. Like everybody talks shit about Fast and the Furious, how that is so unrealistic, how Ludacris went into space, all this shit like that. This asshole just did it. So what are we complaining about? So it's not sci-fi anymore.
He was in a giant penis, not a car. He wasn't in a fucking Toyota.
That is true. Okay, yeah, he went to space in a giant penis. We understand that. Glad you're unblocked on Facebook for now. I'm pretty sure we would do something that will ban us again. So we'll see how long we keep the podcast going before that happens. And what else we got? Yeah, and like I said, the funniest thing about this, we saw Boss Logic because this is what they look like. Now, Eli, does it look familiar?
I saw a bunch of memes.
Yeah, because Boss Logic saw this, took control of it, and decided to go, this is the new MCU Fantastic Four reboot, maybe the best one we get.
Why does the guy supposed to be the Thing looks like hamburger meat?
I mean, it's MCU is cutting corners right now. Kevin Feige got to cut corners, So that's the funny thing. But the funniest thing about it, Eli, the thing I love about it the most, when I went on, I saw this shit going on, trending wise, was Gil Scott-Heron. And you know why I love it? Because he made one of my favorite songs of all time, "Whitey on the Moon."
He didn't even go to the moon. He went into like barely Earth orbit.
Yeah, close. It's further than we went. Dr. Evil lives. Yeah, exactly. What up, Cliff? Yeah, Dr. Evil lives. So yeah, so he didn't go into the moon, but he still went into space further than us. That's the thing. You got all these billionaires. Like I said, I'm not going to turn this into an Eat the Rich podcast. I'm just saying people are getting mad at them because yes, they're going into space and they're doing all stuff like that because they want to get away from COVID and World War V, whatever like that. And they want them to spend more money on people that are, suffering, from COVID and the pandemic and losing their jobs, stuff like that. They're not going to do that. Why are you expecting to do that? If I had $1 billion, Eli, you think I would do that shit? No, I would do stupid shit like this too. I would go to Mars and space and the moon and whatever like that. And I actually wouldn't go anywhere. I just have a whole bunch of,
We'd be potting on the beach somewhere in the Riviera.
Exactly. That is the last thing I would be thinking of. What can I do to build a center in? No, I'm not thinking any of that shit. I'm doing what these guys doing. I will be an asshole about it also, just like they are. Thank you for spending all your money at Amazon so I can use this to blow your money in space. I would throw money out of the spaceship on the way to Mars. See if anybody can catch it. Let's see. What do we got
Cliff
here?
is in the house.
Oh, let Pocket Watch. Like I said, Cliff, this is not Eat the Rich. We don't do that here. We understand. So it's fucked up, but we understand. Now, Eli, I'm gonna let you know. Hold up. I think I made a typo. Let me just correct something real quick because now we're gonna talk about this Masters of the Universe that came on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Eli, I'm confused. Is it a TV show or is it a movie?
It's a series.
Okay, because I think that should let you know whether or not I saw it or not. So it's a TV show, so I want to make sure I get that correct. So, like I said, Eli, you watched a TV show. I'm gonna set you. Well, not gonna set you up. I'll just let you just talk about it. See what you talk about it. I may ask a question because here's the thing, Eli. Everybody has their like favorite reviewers and their critics that they go on YouTube and stuff like that, and go on Facebook and they get their opinion of it before they go watch something. Guess what, Eli? You're my guy.
Oh,
so
shit.
Yeah. So that was it. So
I feel honored.
Exactly. So if you say this sucks, I'm gonna say it sucks. But if you say it's good, I might check it out. So you gotta sell me or not sell me on this whole massive unit, and all of everybody listening to this also sell us on this whole Masters of the Universe thing or whatever.
Cliff watched it.
Cliff watched it. Okay. I'm curious because I'm starting to see that you and Cliff share the same brain. So I'm gonna see what you think about it and see what Cliff thinks about it and see if it matches up. See if you guys are on the same page with this.
Okay. First off, did you ever watch the cartoon when you were a kid?
Okay, so I'm glad you asked that. I did watch the cartoon, but it was more like the cartoon was watching me. I think that was my time when I was eating snacks while I was waiting for Transformers to come on. So yes, He-Man was playing in the background. I wasn't really paying attention to it. And when I watched it when I was, older and adult, that shit was just trash to me. It was like the worst thing ever. It was like 3 animations they just did. The voice acting was horrible. Yeah, just the same running animations like that. I was like, oh, this is fucking horrible, man. Is this the shit we watch? That shit used to make me laugh. Right.
That laugh.
Not to saying it was bad, like unwatchable, but as an older, I could appreciate it more. I was like, this shit is so terrible. I can enjoy it now as some horror, so when you watch a bad movie or a bad TV show, that's what it was to me. So I have no emotional attachment to He-Man or anything like that, even though I am in the age demographic that they completely marketed to. Because I had the toys. I had all the toys. I had all the toys. I had all the toys. I had He-Man, Beastman.
I didn't have any of the. I didn't have any of the toys. I think for Christmas, somebody gave me Man at Arms, and he's like the shittiest figure. But I was one of the toys. My friends had all the toys. He had Castle Grayskull, and I wanted them shits, but I never got them. But I did watch.
I've been hearing stuff about that. We're gonna get to it, but I've been hearing it. I've been here, but I want to see if you can start it. Yeah, Gabe. I don't know if you agree with me at Eli because the show was kind of So that's why when they gave me a new He-Man show, I'm just like, okay. Same thing with Thundercats. I didn't get shit about Thundercats either. A lot of those TV shows, like G.I. Joe. Notice we're not talking about Snake Eyes. The new movie came out because just like the rest of America, I didn't watch the shit either because nobody gives a fuck. And so the same thing with He-Man. I really didn't care. So the new Netflix show, I really don't care. But if it's something that catches on fire and it, is a thing, then maybe it will pique my attention. That being said, Eli, what do you think?
Well, I didn't really care about it either when it, because I tried watching the new Voltron and the new Transformers animations that they've been putting on, and they're I'm like,
and another thing, they're calling this anime. This is not anime. Don't fool the people. I saw that shit on there, but anyway.
So I was curious. I threw it on. I from time to time I listen to Fat Man Beyond with Kevin Smith and Mark Bernardin, and they've been teasing this show for like 2-3 years now. So I was curious to check it out.
Yeah, and because we want to set this up because Kevin Smith has been promoting on his podcast mainly because he wrote this. So I don't know how well I can trust his opinion on that. It's just just saying. Yeah. If I wrote something, of course I'm gonna say it's the best thing ever. You should get it, so I can't review it. But that being said, okay. I'm gonna let you go
All
on
right.
with
So yeah, I just checked it out. My daughter seemed to really like it. She was totally into it. So I was watching the first episode, and I'm gonna spoil the shit out of it. I don't give a fuck.
I don't
I'm gonna
give a fuck
spoil it.
either. Go
Yeah,
for it.
yeah. I'm gonna spoil it. Yeah, I started watching the first episode, and they kill He-Man and Skeletor in the first episode, and I was like, "What?
Wait, what?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah."
that
I was like, "Holy shit, they did that." Okay, I'm curious to see how this goes. So I watched the next episode. I was like, "Okay, I see how this is going." And then next thing you know, there's only 5 half-hour episodes. 2 hours later, I watched them all. I'm like, "Oh, okay. Now I got to see how this shit ends." So it's only part one.
it's
Now we got
only
to wait
part
for
one
part
of
two.
this. Okay.
Yeah. So it ended on a big cliffhanger, but I was surprisingly engaged in it. I didn't think I was going to give a fuck, but they killed off the two main characters, and I was like, "Holy shit, what are they going to do with this?" And
Like they're dead. Like they didn't fake you out, anything like that, or
no, they come back in forms, in different forms, in later episodes. But the fact that they first of all that they killed people and there was blood and shit, I was like, okay, this ain't for kids. I mean, it could be for kids, but it's for those who grew up with this shit, and
right.
and it was surprisingly adult. So I really enjoyed it. It did become Tila's adventure. She
I'm hearing
teams
about
up.
that. The man babies are
Yeah,
whining. They're going crazy over it. Yeah.
well, she teams up with fucking Evil Lynn, who was one of my favorite. I've always had the hots for Evil Lynn since I was like,
So you're one of those guys, Eli. I've always
yeah,
said if you had a crush on Evil Lynn or that chick from Superman 2, remember Ursa, whatever that is?
Ursa,
Yes,
yeah.
that formed your toxic relationships later on with women. So if ever you see a woman that is toxic, you're like, I gotta have her. So that shit fucked us up, Eli. Looking at hot women like that. But yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, Tila teams up with with Orko, Evil Lynn, and they basically have a fellowship of the ring. They have to go and save the magic of Eternia because it is dwindling, it is dying, and they have to go to the source and save Eternia. And it becomes like a Lord of the Rings kind of thing. And we get to see some of the villains that Triclops, who was voiced by Henry Rollins. I was surprised to see that Henry Rollins. I'm a metalhead, old punk rocker. He was the vocalist of Black Flag and Rollins band, so it's cool to hear him. Skeletor was voiced by Mark Hamill. And just
one episode he was in it. I mean,
yeah, he was in it for one episode. But Triclops, he was like a Borg. He was like some leader of this like technical mutant cult. He was turning people into like digital robot being things, and flesh is weak. Resistance is futile. It was kind of cool. I don't know. I enjoyed the shit. And there was one episode where Orko and Evil Lynn have kind of a heart to heart, and I was like, God damn, Orko, the stupidest character ever, is making me feel some feels. Like it was surprisingly poignant how Orko just sort of broke some shit down, and then he sacrificed himself and he died.
What the fuck, man?
Yeah.
Kevin Smith, you're destroying my childhood. I didn't even give a fuck about the show, but still.
But I was like, God damn, you know what this reminded me of? This reminded me of the Transformers movie.
Oh yeah, that shit scarred us for life, man.
Yes, and I was like, "Holy shit!" Yeah,
it was a 30-minute toy commercial. Another reason I didn't like that show, but yeah, as magic dies, the world starts becoming more and more modern America. Mark Hamill, that's a good theme right there, Devontae. Like that.
Yeah.
And just started watching. I think I was watching the 1980s text message after the Skeletor burnt up. Who the fuck is
Mossman dies in the first episode.
I don't know who it is, but damn, Kevin Smith.
He's like the Swamp Thing. He was like the Swamp Thing in the Masters of the Universe. He was the green guy, the green Beast Man guy.
I kind of sort of remember him. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. But they do sort of leave it open for He-Man to return. They do sort of go to this, what's it called, the pre-Eternia or whatever? It's kind of like heaven. Where that's
Valhalla and all
that. Valhalla, like Viking heaven. Only it's not really heaven. They fight and then they get drunk at every night. It's like
that's
fighting.
that's Valhalla.
That's Valhalla for Vikings.
Yeah.
Or that's heaven for Vikings, fighting and fucking and getting fucked up every day. But that's where they go. They end up going there, and then that's where they find Prince Adam, and he's like living in bliss in paradise. And Prince Adam has to make that decision. Is he going to return? And because Eternia is fucked up, is he going to go back there? And there's like one scene where they're like, "This is your reward, yo. This is where you go. You've sacrificed. You were a hero. You saved the universe so many times. This is your reward, is to be here." And Prince Adam's still like, "Well, yeah, but everyone's still suffering back there." And I thought that was very interesting, you know. So yeah, there was a lot of heavy themes, I thought, that totally caught me off guard, that I wasn't expecting from a fluffy ass cartoon, you know, that I thought was going to be just meant for kids and giving us nostalgia. So it sort of gave us nostalgia, but also had a lot of depth to it that I didn't think it would go towards. You know what I mean? It went deep, and I didn't expect that to. So that's why I think I enjoyed it. And it was really short. 2 hours later, I watched all the episodes, and I was like, "Well, damn."
Is this like a right? That's what I'm saying. So is this like episode by episode, or is it like that's the whole thing you just watched?
No, it's 5 half 20-minute episodes or whatever it is. 20, 25 minutes, you know? So boom, like I said, I watched the first episode, then I watched the next one, and the next one, then I was like, well, shit, there's 2 more. I might as well finish it, you know? So I watched them in one sitting, you know? And I got into it. I really dug on this shit, you know? And I seen people bitching about, it's not the He-Man show. It was never called He-Man. It was called the Masters of the Universe, you know? And like
even back then, yeah, it was called Masters of the Universe, but still, yeah.
Yeah, you know, but you know, Teela, it's the Teela show, and she's got small tits and blah 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 blah. You know, all these motherfuckers. You know, it's just like for the generation, the '80s babies, us '80s babies who grew up with this shit. You know, yeah, Transformers. We watched a Transformers movie where Optimus Prime died in the first 20 minutes. We fucking had to wait 3 years to find out if Vader was Luke's dad and what if Han Solo survived. We had to wait 3 years for that shit. You know, we grew up in an age where Rambo and Commando were toys and shit. You know, we were
another reason we're fucked up.
Yeah, 80s babies. We were told not to cry and to hide our emotions and to be tough guys. And all these motherfuckers grew up to be fucking whiny bitches bitching. They killed He-Man. Shut the fuck up. Yeah. I thought it was dope. Fuck y'all.
Oh man, you're selling me on the show. You're selling me on the show.
Yeah, they like everybody dies. Like, holy shit, what the fuck?
Like in the first episode, but at the same time, Eli, you can see why people get pissed off. I see
he goes out like a G though. He goes out like a G. It's like Iron Man. He couldn't contain all the magic, and it just evaporated him. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You know, it was all the magic in the universe, and he was trying to save it and absorb it, and it just consumed him. You know, and I was like, whoa, that's okay. And this is the first episode. Well, I want to see what happens next, and
just can watch from there. So, but you're agreeing with the man babies on YouTube that Teela is the main star of the show, at least from these episodes we saw. Okay.
She is, and they give her a cool arc. She's like, no one told me Prince Adam was He-Man. You fucking assholes! And now
how did she not figure it out? Either way.
Yeah, there was always a secret. Only 2. What is it in the old cartoon? Only 2 share my secret. It's Man-at-Arms and the Sorceress. They're the only ones who knew.
That's another thing I'm going to ask. Okay, so does Kevin Smith lean into the homoeroticism like on the on the cartoon?
I don't know.
Probably not, because he killed off He-Man, so it didn't matter. But I mean, after I saw a YouTube video, it was always in the back of my mind when I watched the old He-Man show. You know,
you can kind of argue, and I'm not going to assume any gender or orientation, but there might have been maybe I just saw that maybe Teela had some feelings for Prince Adam, and that's why she was so hurt when he died.
That was in the old show, yeah.
Yeah. So I think she had some feelings for Prince Adam, and when he died, and then turns out that he was He-Man the whole time and no one told her. She resents everybody. She's pissed off at everybody. She's pissed off at Duncan, at Man-at-Arms. So they have a falling out. And like I said, there's some like heavy drama that went into this shit that I was not expecting, So yeah, she kind of resents her dad, and they have her and her dad have this kind of crappy relationship throughout the show, So you see these characters sort of mature and have these dramatic arcs with all this emotional weight, like Evil Lynn kind of being like fucking Harley Quinn, like saying, "Damn, I did all this shit for Skeletor, and he was a dick to me the whole fucking time." Like I said, there was some depth to these characters that I never thought I would get, So that's why I got into it. So yeah, I thought it was cool. And I'm eager to see what happens next. I don't know.
They gotta have a season 2 or whatever, or a second part or whatever.
Because it says part 1, end of part 1. So
we all remember that meme right there. What it said. I'm gonna play it. That's gonna be the ending song. What else we got here? God damn, they're coming in hot. Me too. What else we got? Yeah, you did go out a great way. Okay, so like Optimus Prime, saving Hot Rod and shit like that, saving the universe. Thinking He-Man was better than it. That was a second. That was the second one. Remember the second one, Cartoon Network, I think.
The one where they go into space.
When they're already in space.
Well, no, there was like where he was all skinny, looked like Flash Gordon, because that one was shitty. I don't know if he's talking about that one, because that shit was whack. The Flash Gordon He-Man one, that shit was kind of whack. And the He-Man movie, the movie that came out in the 80s, that shit sucked too.
That's the exact same plot as Thor. If you think about it, I'm just saying it's the same plot as Thor.
I suppose the reason why it sucked is it takes place on Earth and shit. And I thought it sucked as a little kid. I saw it as a little kid. Like, this shit's whack,
Yeah, right back to his ass, just like Harley. Yeah, they in that toxic relationship. Yeah, She-Ra. Yeah, I know people got pissed off at She-Ra too. So I guess I don't know.
Oh, because she had small tits and shit. Yeah. So,
yeah.
These fucking pussies.
Oh man, it's like I said, I might sit down and just watch it now that you sort of kind of sold me on it.
It's not long. Like I said, 5 20-minute episodes. Boom, watch it in a couple hours. Yeah.
Get in, get out, and that's it. Okay, no, it's more
of a lore show.
More of a lore show. I was never into the He-Man lore, so
yeah, me neither. I mean, it was like Conan with space shit, I don't know.
Which is all it ever was. I always thought it was like Conan, Dungeons and Dragons type, He-Man main character in the previous shows and even the comics he has. See why people will be pissed off about being killed off. Yeah, like I said, I see why people will be pissed off about that.
Yeah, but I don't think he's gone. I think he's coming back. I think he's going to return, and
Right, but even that they kind of wrote him off the show. Even if he comes back, just still the fact that they wrote him off the show. So, like I said, doesn't bother me at all. The shocking shit like that, actually, like, oh, well, let me pay attention. I wasn't expecting that. That kind of stuff gets my attention. I want to see where you go with that. I'm not just going to write it off because I want He-Man.
Yeah, I got an interesting story arc that I wasn't expecting. I never really watched She-Ra. I mean, wasn't that her sister or some shit?
Yeah,
my little sisters got into She-Ra.
That's what She-Ra was for.
Yeah, I mean, He-Man.
She-Ra was designed to target another demographic. That's what She-Ra was made for. People get mad at everybody when they, have this type of character and they create this type of character. That's how She-Ra was. He-Man was for boys. She-Ra was for girls. It was toys. Toy commercial.
Yeah, but it turns out that girls were into He-Man too.
Well, of course.
So that's why they created She-Ra.
Well, of course they were. He's
Ryan Johnson's He-Man. That's why it was good. Trigger warning.
Leave it to Eli. Leave it to Eli. Oh man, I'm trying to see where we're gonna go with this next Eli. Okay, should we do what you want to do, or should we do that Wolf Within thing? You want to skip that? Talk about it?
No, we don't. We can.
Okay, fuck that. All right, let's talk about what you want to do because I know you want to talk about this.
Okay, what else?
This next one.
Oh,
I know you want to talk about. Yes,
yeah,
I know you want to talk about this. So okay,
Dune.
so what did you want? Because I know something happened with Dune, so I didn't even watch the trailer. I'm sorry, I was out of it this week. I had shit to do. I don't
know. Dune, yes, the new Dune trailer dropped the other day, and it looked epic as fuck. What should I go with? I mean, you're not really familiar with Dune, so I don't know what to say
at all. Yeah, I don't. Like, I mean, you can start talking, but I'm gonna be looking at you like you're talking Spanish. So I'm just like,
yeah. Well, Dune, it's basically Star Wars meets Lord of the Rings meets Game of Thrones meets basically everything you were ever into. It was basically goes back to Dune, Star Trek. You know, Game of Thrones, all that
even
shit.
X-Men now. I mean, we're reading X-Men shit. I'm just like, this shit sounds familiar, you know.
It all goes back to Dune, you know. It's a space fantasy epic about warring kingdoms in space. Hope they don't fuck up Dune. You know what, Cliff? I really hope so too. And I'm really worried that it is going to get fucked up because they've only so this Dune movie is only the first part of the book.
Mm-hmm.
So it's only half the book, this movie. They haven't even started or even greenlit the second part. So
because they want to see how this one does.
Yeah, and movies are bombing
left and right.
I don't if it doesn't have if it ain't a Marvel movie or by Disney.
Hell, it don't even matter nowadays. It don't even matter if it's a Marvel movie. Fuck all of them.
Yeah. I don't see them making the second part, which kind of bums me out.
Plus, it's going to be on HBO Max.
You know, maybe they'll make a TV series out of it someday, but I don't see this version of Dune ever getting finished. But the trailer looked dope. I recently read the book. I was always into the old movie, the old David Lynch movie. I always found that intriguing, but I read the book recently and now I understand the world a lot more. But yeah, like I said, it's basically Game of Thrones in space. You know, these different kingdoms are warring over the spice, which is on only one planet called Dune or Arrakis, aka Arrakis. And this spice, it's used in a lot of things, but most importantly, it's used for space travel. It probably was a board game.
A board game probably was. Like,
it's like
cross marketing.
Yeah. It was written. The book was written in the 60s, and it's got a big, huge political commentary. The spice was on this desert planet called Dune. And there's this indigenous population called the Fremen who, live there and are trying to protect the spice, but basically all these other factions are coming and mining it. The spice is produced by these giant sandworms. And so the spice allows space travel. You know, it basically they use it to map out the universe and basically mind warp you across the galaxy. And basically Paul Atreides, House Atreides, comes to Arrakis to, ambassador the spice, but then they are attacked by the Harkonnens, and a war breaks out, and the Harkonnens, destroy
or
House
any
Atreides.
natural resource, Cliff, or any natural resources.
Yeah, I mean, it's about. Oh yes,
it could be about water. I mean, hell
yeah. It was written in the 60s, and it was pretty much a comment on the Middle East and the oil resources over there, and the world sort of after this fuel source, and still is. So there's a lot of underlying political commentary in this story. It is really cool. I mean, and in this movie, looks like it could be really good. I'm just worried it's not going to get finished. It's only the first part. And it looks like we're just going to see the fall of House Atreides, and then maybe Paul and his mom meet up with the Fremen, because there's some clips in the trailer where it shows Paul with the blue eyes. Now you get blue eyes when you get addicted to spice. Prolonged exposure to the spice turn your eyes blue. It has this bluish glow, and there is clips in the trailer where Paul has blue eyes. But it shows a lot of the stuff in the book. If you read the book, there's a lot of stuff that I was catching. The ornithopters, they're like these dragonfly ships. It shows the attack, House Harkonnen attacking the Atreides, the big battle going on. It shows the shield suits, Duncan Idaho, which is played by, he's like the sword master. He's played by Jason Momoa, and they have these like suits, these like force field suits that, kind of like precursor to lightsabers, I would think. And they're fighting, and it shows them, the shoots are flashing and shit because they're force fields. And of course, the sandworms that you think look like giant buttholes, which they do, or Sarlacc pit, the Sarlacc pit from Star Wars.
That was a vagina to me. So yeah. So
Tatooine, it looked like a butthole with spikes. Tatooine was very much, ate from Dune, from Arrakis, the desert planet, Tatooine. Star Trek, the human computers, the Mentats. What Spock is a Vulcan. He has no emotion. He's all about logic. The Mentat human computers are the same way. And just, it's just all this political intrigue between these kingdoms, sort of, fighting for the power of spice, of who controls the spice. And Paul ends up,
a Wikipedia or something like that when you go into the movie to see this.
It's
a manual or something.
Yeah, this it's a very rich lore. It's like I said, it's pretty much has influenced everything from Star Trek to Star Wars to a lot of fantasy stuff. But yeah, I mean, I'm glad I didn't read it as a kid. I probably wouldn't have understood it as much as I did, because after I read it now, I'm like, yeah, I can understand that it's not, people complain, oh, it's a white savior story. Paul is the superhero, and no, it's not. The point of Dune is a warning about how politics and religion are all a means of control.
It's funny you say that, because I feel like when this movie starts coming out, some critic is going to say what you just said, but in a negative way, like, oh, it's a white savior narrative. Everybody's going to jump on it. Right. Yeah. Everybody's going to jump on it, and that's going to be the narrative.
Yeah, Paul is a white savior, when in the book, he's not white. In fact, in the book, the Harkonnens are the white people, and they're fucking the bad guys.
The spice control the spice. Okay, so Cliff, so you know about this. Okay, Cliff. Understand all the spice memes now. Okay.
Yeah, so spice, basically there are these the navigators, the guild, the navigation guild, they use the spice, and they are like basically mutant alien thing. They're humans, but because they've been using spice for so long, they've mutated into these big brain things, and they basically mind warp ships through space. So I don't know. Hey, if you can understand the X-Men, you can understand Dune.
It's not that hard.
It's not that. Yeah, fucking time travel and astral planes and this power and that power, and this person's fucking that person.
Yellow savior, snake ass. I don't know. Here's the thing: if they made Snake Eyes white, we would have heard that same thing. We already know the movie. Nobody cares about this movie anyway, but we know that people jumped on that. Same way they did with Iron Fist. So even though we changed the subject from Snake Eyes, but yeah,
I didn't even see Snake Eyes.
Go. Nobody did. You see, I should have did the box office this week, but I was like, it's so pathetic. There's no point to do it. But basically, nobody saw Snake Eyes. Number one movie was old. Yeah. That's what it was. Yeah.
I don't know. Like I said, Dune, I'm worried that it's gonna bomb and they're not gonna finish it. And I just think it's not dumb enough for audiences these days. So.
Eli, have you not learned anything? Just start a change petition. Let's get this thing going. Release the second movie cut or whatever. Hashtag. And so let's see what we got. All right, let's move on from that. I did. It was whack. Oh, cool. Let me guess, Cliff. You were the only one in theater, right? By yourself.
But it had ninjas in it. How can a ninja movie?
Yeah, how can you fuck that up? That's the problem with movie. Like in the 80s, there were like 80,000 ninja movies, and all of them were awesome. How do you fuck up a ninja movie? Right, all of them. Canon just cranked them shits out every other week. They had more ninja movies in the 80s than pornos. But now they don't know how to make a ninja movie now. How do you fuck
that's all? That's all it was at the VHS stores. Ninjas and porn.
ninjas and porn. That's it. Or ninja porn. One of the others. Oh man, let's move on to the next topic. Okay, what do we got next? Oh, it's on me now. Eli, I know you know. Yeah, you
All
know.
right. Yeah.
I thought it was gonna be your show, but I guess it's
crack me up a Dr. Pepper. Yeah.
Oh, you were ready for that. Hey, no sponsors. Dr. Pepper gonna pay us for that shit. Anyway. Yeah, so I think you can jump in on Eli. Batgirl.
Okay.
Batgirl has been cast, yeah. And they had like a whole running and everything like that. Hell, was a guy from Raid. It should have been awesome. Was he in that? The guy from Raid?
Guys movie?
Was he?
Is he? Was it?
And the movie still sucked? I don't know, Eli. What the? That's why these Hollywood movies are going and shit right now. That's why they're not making any money. Because if you fuck up a ninja movie, you don't know what the fuck going on. You might as well just go drive a forklift or go drive an 18-wheeler or something like that. Because movies is not your thing. Anyway, back to Batgirl. So Batgirl was in the running. Like I said, they had a whole bunch of people. They was announcing there was going to be Batgirl this and Batgirl that. And guess who got the role? Leslie Grace. Not the typical Barbara Gordon we was expecting, but that's what we got. She was in the Heights. Eli, did you ever get a chance to see that?
No. You know me. I don't watch music. I ain't into musicals, so I know.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting. I'm the musical guy. I keep forgetting that on you. What we talk about? Let's see. They mad about Batgirl. Oh, they super pissed about Batgirl. They saw that. I saw the memes. I saw the YouTube videos. I saw everything about it. They are pissed about Batgirl. Hashtag not my Batgirl, because we all know the Batgirl they wanted. We know they wanted this as Batgirl. They wanted Emma Stone. It's not what they got.
I didn't want Emma Stone. I wanted a redhead, but I'm cool with this chick.
I mean, you can slap redhead on her, but let's be honest with you.
Yeah, that's just my kink. I wanted a hot redhead, but you know.
Yeah, like Jean Grey or whatever, But
hey, if this is supposed to be like the new DC canon,
that's what I was saying.
Jeffrey Wright. Yeah, Jeffrey Wright ain't white. Or I mean,
right, he's not white.
Commissioner Gordon ain't
Commissioner
white.
Gordon, whatever he is. So if this is supposed to be a show like tied into the continuity of that, which it may or may not be, we don't know. DC probably don't know. They change shit whenever they want to. So, but as of right now, like I said, they got Commissioner Gordon, so they got a daughter that looks the same as the original war wig. Oh yeah, whatever her name was, I can't remember. Yvonne Craig. It lost my name for a second. Yvonne Craig did wear a wig, and then she had short bob, had a short bob hair, and then that's it. But yeah, that's the thing from that one. But here's the thing, Eli. I'm not tripping like everybody else is. However, there is something that I'm starting to notice that is a trend. Now, like I said, this is not one of those comic gates, podcasts, but I do have to bring this up. This is yet another redhead that has been race changed. Because I'm starting to notice something, Eli. Only the redheads are getting race changed, not everybody else. You like Jimmy Olsen, Mary Jane, Annie, Starfire. Who else we got? Little Mermaid. They got Kelly and Chloe. Batgirl. So it's like,
or no, Batwoman.
Batwoman. They had one. Then they changed her out. So just like, so my thing is this. I have to ask this. White people, what do you have against redheads? What do you have against gingers? Do you really hate them that much? You want them erased from media? I just want to know. I'm not mad or anything. I'm just, why do you treat redheads like a redheaded stepchild? I just want to know. Somebody comment in it if you can. Cliff, I need answers. Let me know something. Oh, wow. What the fuck happened to gingers and redhead? 616 man, please tell me you see it too. I'm not, like I said, we are not that type of podcast. We are not comic gators. I know we sound like this sometimes. I know we confuse people to think we are like that, but I just want to know. I've been thinking about this for a while. Like every time.
You just blew my mind.
I'm just saying, man, Starfire is horrible. They just like, if there's a redhead in the comic, fuck that. Race change them so we don't have to ever see a redhead ever on social media. It's a redhead conspiracy. Why do they hate him so much? I just want to know, is that like some kind of lore, or are they like demons, like like serpents in the Bible or something like that? I just want to know. Anyway, that's all I got. Let's move on past that before Facebook bans us again. Is Zuckerberg a redhead? If he is, he's probably going to ban us too. So anyway, what do we got next? Hold on. Cliff got me answer for me.
Or if they do have a redheaded character, they get a blonde to fucking play.
Right.
Yeah, like white Mary Jane and the old first Peter.
Right, they got a blonde to play it because they don't want a redhead to actually play her.
Dunst, yeah.
Like you can't find a redhead like Scarlet in that Snake Eyes movie. I think she's a blonde. She looks just like Margot Robbie, like a Margie ripoff.
That is what's her face? That's Weaving, that chick. Yeah, she's from Ready or Not. Yeah, she's blonde.
Right.
That chick is blonde.
Some country. Okay, thank you, 616. Let's see what we got. Okay, and some things there are a lot of prejudice against redhead ginger because of the demon shit. The what? Okay, I'm gonna research that shit later on. I gotta find out about that because I just want to see if there's some breadcrumbs going to that, Eli. I'm just saying if there's a thing to that, but there might be some validity to that. There might be something to that. We don't know, and it's just ingrained in their culture. They're just like, no, redheads gotta go. So, anyway, where were we? To the Vidja Game section. Let's talk about something nice. Okay, Eli, this brought a warm smile to my heart because, like I said, the Olympics are going on. I don't give a shit about the Olympics. I'm not watching it. I was gonna watch until I found out that the USA basketball team is getting their ass kicked by everybody in the world because apparently we're the worst basketball players. How the USA, who invented basketball, the worst basketball players? So that's crazy. But China hates black people. Oh well, yeah, we know that. Even though I think
it was like the Aztecs or the Mayans who invented what became basketball.
Oh, okay. Sorry. So I guess we're cultural appropriating then. Okay, I'm sorry. Sorry, LeBron James. You know. Yeah.
And that's your native representation of the moment. Dun, dun, dun.
The more you know. It's funny you say that because everybody who complained about He-Man's like, oh, these fucking snowflakes. Oh, yeah, everybody's a snowflake until they change the sports team's name. All of a sudden, now they're triggered.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah,
we're not gonna talk about that. We're gonna move.
No, I ignored it. I'm not reading. I'm not reading. Yeah, I'm not reading any comments.
Okay. To be fair, Naismith wasn't black, so we didn't steal it. We stole it from Naismith, but Naismith stole it from y'all. So eventually came back around to us. What do we got? Okay. Blame the Harlem Globetrotters. Let's blame them. Where we at? Vidja Game section. Vidja Game section. Let's talk about the Vidja Game section. Okay, so the Olympics does have something going on right now, whereas not the Olympics, because I don't give a shit about the Olympics. However, something happened that actually brought a smile to my face, and that is esports. Now, they have some video game tournaments that made it to Japan. They are not in the Olympics, but they're at the Olympics. It's a difference. And 2 games made it. I'm going to give you a hint, Eli. I know you're not going to guess it. One of them you probably could guess, but I'll go ahead and name it. So one game is Rocket League. So I haven't played it. I heard Rocket League is awesome. Definitely want to look in the Olympics. Well, technically not the Olympics. They're like across the street from the Olympics, but it still counts, you know. So yeah, they're there. But in Japan, they're there. Okay. And so it's 2 games that made it there. Rocket League is one. Another game, Street Fighter 5. Eli, I could have went to Japan. Yeah, not really because I would have got my ass kicked, but still. I saw some clips of what they were playing. I like, yeah, they're way past me now.
Dude.
It's too late. It's too late. It's too late, Eli. This is not
4 years. This could be your movie. The next 4 years, your journey starts now. I just
train every day. Yeah. Just while we're doing the podcast, I'm playing Street Fighter the whole time.
Yeah, then you can have that montage. You're the best around at the end. Where you're training and shit. And then you meet some chick or something, and there's like some fucking drama shit going on, and you're like, Street Fighter's the easiest part of life. They have that moment of clarity, like, wow, yeah, all this stuff.
I'm loving this screenplay.
Life is so hard, but Street Fighter's easy.
Somebody's gonna listen to this podcast and write that fucking screenplay and make a million.
It writes itself, man.
It writes itself. Now I'm like training and shit. Yeah. I'm like doing push-ups with my thumbs and shit, trying to train.
Yeah.
Oh shit, Rocket League.
The kid from the wrong side of the tracks who makes
it. Street Fighter. We did it. I probably
Jason lives.
Oh shit. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, I don't even remember what we're talking about.
Street Fighter.
Street Fighter. Okay, back to Street Fighter. Here's my thing. Okay, so you have Street Fighter, which is a fighting game tournament there. Meanwhile, you have actual real martial artists in the Olympics. Taekwondo, boxing, jiu-jitsu, all this shit like that. So imagine you train your whole life, training your body to be a weapon, and you win the gold medal, and then you see this fat, chubby kid beside you with glasses that got a gold trophy from playing Street Fighter. I'd beat his ass. I'm just sorry. That's if I was like a trained martial artist and shit, you know. Oh, what do we got? How video game stuff. This shit writes itself. Eli, I'm writing this shit. I'm writing this shit tonight. I'm submitting this shit. Best of the best six. Oh, man. Okay, I'll pass that. Can we move on to the next part of the podcast?
Sure.
Okay, like I said, this is the Comic Book Bullies, where we talk about the comic books. And Eli, do you have a shitload of books? Do I have a shitload of books? I can't remember.
I bought a shitload of books, and most of them were shitty, so I'm kind of pissed.
Okay. You know what? Y'all got me crying over here. Y'all talk about this crazy shit. Let's start off with an easy one, Eli. I'm gonna give you an easy one. I'm gonna give you a layup.
Okay.
Moon Knight.
I'm doing this?
Yeah, I didn't read it.
Oh,
I didn't touch this shit. Say whatever you want to say. Rip Moon Knight a new asshole, and let's just go with it.
Okay. Moon Knight, #1. It's like Batman, it's like Batman, only it sucks.
Oh man, this is Moon Knight.
Yeah. So they're the new Moon Knight. You know they're pushing this because the show's coming out, and it's full of vampires because
why
they got Blade coming out because they got Blade. You know what Marvel doing? They're all their shit they're doing is to set up more important shit. So yeah, this has vampires in it. And Moon Knight in it because he's got a show coming out, and like okay, this is our turn to bought America. I stopped reading Coach's Couch. Yeah.
I think he's done, but yeah, okay.
Yeah, but you know, Moon Knight is Marvel's Batman, and they make right away they make a point. Well, this is supposed to be better than Batman, so right away he's like, you know what? I care about the hood. You know, so everybody bitches about Batman. They try to fix in this.
Oh shit. Okay.
And then they even ask him like, "Yo, how come an Egyptian god chose you, a white guy, to be their chosen one?" And then he white explains it somehow, and you know.
Oh wow!
And then vampires happen, and
he's Jewish, but he believes in an Egyptian god. So none of this makes any sense. It's just like I understand his comics. I understand you have to have a suspension of disbelief, but some of this shit just like, huh? But,
somewhere, Mel Gibson's got to get a hold of this shit.
Right.
Oh shit! Yeah. So no, I basically every time I read Moon Knight, I'm like, fuck this. I'm gonna read Batman.
Like you might as well. Why read a Batman knockoff? With a nice night, shit like that. So
yeah. So yeah. Fuck this shit.
Okay, can I?
And that's my rating. Fuck this shit.
Hashtag it. Comic Book Bullies. Fuck this shit out of 5. Oh man, hold on. I want to shit on Moon Knight too. Hold on, let me see. Marvel Comics become a printed or digital commercial. That's all Marvel is right now, and DC to a point also. All their comics now are just the blueprint or the R&D department for Hollywood. That's all they are. Give me my new TV show. Give me my new movie. Give me my new cartoon. Write that shit. And they basically got these guys in a sweatshop working. That's why Coach got the fuck up out of there. Or they fired him. One or the other. I can't remember. Either way, the writing team is fucked up. Now, Eli, this is some petty shit why I don't like Moon Knight, but I'm going to just say this shit. Okay. The reason I don't like Moon Knight is because... Yeah, I got a story to tell. Okay. I know we got comments. I want to talk about this shit anyway. Okay. So, the whole story begins with honey puns. I'm going somewhere with this. Okay, so after school, when I used to like watch He-Man or just paying attention to Transformers shit like that, I used to raid the kitchen just for snacks, honey buns, cupcakes, all this shit like that. So by the time my dad got home from work, all the shit was gone. So me and my brother just ate up honey buns and shit like that. So he had a plan to fix us. So what he did, he took out all the honey buns, all the cupcakes and shit like that, and replaced them with moon pies. Now, this is the nastiest fucking candy of all time. This is the nastiest snack. But when you're after school and there's nothing there, and you want to sit there and watch Batman the animated series, and you want to eat something with it, what are you gonna do? You got nothing but moon pie. So I'm gonna sit there and eat a vanilla moon pie. Chocolate was the worst. Chocolate was the fucking worst. So that's why I like Moon Knight. Because anytime I see moon pies, it reminds me of Moon Knight. Anytime I see Moon Knight, it reminds me of moon pies. So that's why I get triggered anytime I see Moon Knight, just because of that shit. That's my petty reason why I don't like Moon Knight. And plus he sucks.
Every full moon, you're like, oh, moon pies.
No, Moon Knight, no. You know, this shit like that. So yeah. All right, that's all I got. Oh, it's my turn to review. Oh shit. I didn't mean to take over your Moon Knight episode. Okay, so my turn. With the book I'm going to do next is, and I should have did more notes on this, but I didn't. You might have to help me out, Eli, if you know anything about this one. We're going to do Superman and the Authority, number 1.
Yeah, I did read.
You did read this. Okay, so I'm gonna give everybody some backdrop about exactly what Superman and the Authority is. The Authority is actually like a former, not Image book, kind of Image, but not Image, because it was right when Jim Lee sold his Image brand to DC.
Was it not Wildcats?
Wild Storm.
Wild Storm.
Yeah. So Wild Storm was Jim Lee's Image division, but he sold his share of Image to DC, and the Authority was like his first book. That was with Midnighter and Apollo, and I think Deathblow was a part of the team and all this shit. Like
Jenny Electric or whatever.
Yeah, Jenny no more plasma. Bat knockoff. Yes. Moon Knight has been shit since Khonshu. Yeah, but Khonshu was in the beginning. But yeah, that's like I don't fuck with Moon Knight. That's just me. What do we got here? Is Kal-El?
No, it's old Kal-El. Yeah,
it's old Kal-El. But that's the thing, Eli. This book is so confusing. Is it in continuity? Is it not in continuity?
Leave it up to Grant Morrison to like pull all this shit out of his ass that no one knows
is it
about.
Black Label? Is it not Black Label? Is it? I don't know. Let's break this down. Okay, let's break this bad boy down. All right, so like I said, this is Superman and the Authority. We will try to explain this story as best as possible. Like I said, it is a Grant Morrison book, so prepare to be mind fucked, because that's what he does. Let's just jump into it. Okay, so the book starts off, even though it's supposed to be in DC canon, it starts off in 1963, and where Superman is talking to JFK. Why is he talking to JFK? I don't know. He's thanking Superman and all the Justice Society and all stuff like that, which Wonder Woman is there right there also, which she ain't supposed to be there, but who gives a fuck? And basically, he's telling Superman to promise him that him and his super people are going to end all wars and look towards the space, because by the end of the decade, JFK is trying to go to space. But he doesn't know if he's going to get there. And even Superman, he asks him, what do you need me here for? Do you need me to be your bodyguard in Dallas? He's like, nah, I'll be fine in Dallas. Wah. But anyway, never mind. So they show all that shit, actually what happened in Dallas. Boom, that's what happened. And so all the fairy tale situation that they expected Superman to go to didn't happen. Anyway, we cut to Manchester Black, who was a Superman villain. I don't have time to explain him. Not even going to bother with it.
He was on the Supergirl show, like as a black guy, I think
and he's a redhead in this comic. It does not stop. I'm telling you, I'm following the breadcrumbs. Also, like I said, Manchester Black wakes up with a person you can't tell if it's a woman or a man. They threw that in there. I saw how they did that. I'm surprised Fox News didn't just jump on that. But anyway, we're just gonna go with that. Anyway, he's in London. He gets tear gassed. These guys are coming after him. He's drunk as shit, and he mind controls them, makes them think that the War of the World aliens are there. He walks out with a mind control while he has another gin bottle in his bottle. I don't understand what he was planning here, because he just walks out while these guys have a gun pointed at him, and they just shoot the shit out of him. He doesn't run. He just gets shot. He's not bulletproof. He's just a dude. So he gets shot down there, and right before they're about to kill him, all of a sudden, Superman shows up. You don't know it's Superman, but you find out it's Superman later on. So Superman says, okay, gentlemen, I'll take him from here. So then Superman takes him to the Fortress of Solitude. And while his back is broken or his spinal column is healing, he's there. He's pissed off. He's like, why you bring me here, Superman? You want me to be part of your stupid ass team you got coming up. You want me to be your physical disabled professor? You know, and Superman's like, what? You know, the little fourth wall break there. But anyway, the reason Superman has Manchester Black is because Superman is slowly losing his power, so he's building a team. And the team he's building is basically people that can kind of replace his powers. But he has just enough power to be there. And he is telling Manchester Black in 12 minutes, these robots that have been trapped in the Phantom Zone are going to break out and going to attack everything. And I'm not strong to stop by myself, so I need somebody else to help me. So Manchester Black says, fuck you. I'm not helping you. Remember, I'm a bad guy. I don't do shit like that. So he leaves. Meanwhile, that's going on. You got all the super robots from the Phantom Zone break loose and they attack Superman. And they all had the faces of the Phantom Zone criminals, like the Phantom King. That's a Grant Morrison thing. That's Feora, you know, some other people like that. And while he's getting his ass whooped, Manchester Black comes back and does his thing or whatever like that. Oh, this actually spoiled me when I read the synopsis of the book. So the new Legion of Doom has been set up. You got what's the guy, Eclipso or whatever his name is, and you don't know the big bad, but the synopsis tell you who the big bad is. The big bad, and he says he's Superman's oldest enemy. Superman's oldest enemy that he's ever fought is not Lex Luthor. It is the Ultra Human Knight, Big Monkey, super smart. Anyway,
I did not know that.
Yeah, so yeah, it's easy. But when he fought him originally, he wasn't a big monkey. He was just a big bald scientist dude. He eventually became a big monkey later on, and that's the book. Oh, and he poisons Manchester Black or knocks him out. Or Manchester Black. I don't know what the fuck was going on with this book, man. Look, Grant Morrison, what the fuck, man? Here's my thing about this book. You can tell there's a lot of history that Grant Morrison's trying to cover, but it's not history that has already been in the book. He's making up history. Like it's canon, but it's not canon. They saying this book will affect the rest of the DCEU, even though Superman is in the 60s, when in the regular DC universe, he didn't come around to like the 80s or whatever the fuck. So I don't know what the hell is going on with this book. I'm trying to wrap my head around it.
And the authority wasn't even in it.
And that's the thing, they weren't even in it. Grant Morrison always said fuck. Right, but he's saying this is continuity. That's the thing. He's saying fuck continuity, but it's in continuity. I don't know what the fuck is going on. It was a weird book. This is not Grant Morrison's best work. But here's the thing, Eli. I'm not giving up yet. I think it's gonna pull together, hopefully. But we'll see how it goes. So, all right. So, man, it took a lot of me. What you got?
Well, I'll do New Mutants.
Okay,
number 20.
Cool. Please tell me this is a straightforward book with a beginning and ending.
This actually I found very profound and moving.
Nice. Okay.
There was a moment in here that kind of got to me. I ain't gonna front. There was a moment where there's in some European country, they discover a little girl with mutant powers, and they go to retrieve her because she's caused an earthquake and fucked up the town. And they're saying, okay, we got to bring her back to Krakoa because she's a mutant. But then the townspeople are like, no, you're not going to take our kid. You're not taking her. And they actually put up a fight. And, and they're fighting. Hold on. I got some images.
Yeah, throw that bad boy up there. Okay. Oh, I see. Damn. I thought okay, hold on. Let me see. Boom. No, that's me.
So
that's you. Okay.
So the townspeople are all like, "You're not taking, you're not going to take our people." And they're like, we got to train her. She's a mutant, And then Warpath. Let's see. Can I get to that? Let me see. Okay, Warpath is like, you know what? We're not going to kidnap this kid. And as you can see here, there's Magic punching some dude, who just got his town destroyed. Being an asshole, basically acting like Batman and being an asshole. But they're like, Warpath is like, we're not going to kidnap this kid, and so they give her back to her mom. And I just thought that was very powerful because in the light of all the news about the residential schools and the mass graves of Native kids that they've been finding lately, I found that very, very moving. That Warpath, I don't know if that was intentional but using Warpath to be that, voice of reason was it gave me shivers. I'm struggling here, man. This is tough.
Yeah, I'm just saying. That's great that they actually giving Warpath something to do in these books. So,
So the residential schools, yes, that's a very dark time in Native history where government funded and church run boarding schools were basically used to kidnap Native kids and assimilate them, And it's a very tragic time in our history. And lately they've been finding a lot of graves of children around these places. And it's basically digging up a lot of bad memories for us. I mean, it hits home for me. I mean, my mom had to go to one. And so it's kind of triggering, but this moment I found very moving, So that was just for that. I thought this was awesome. But basically what's been going on in this new Mutants book is the Shadow King has sort of been hiding out on Krakoa, and he's been talking to the kids here, this new mutant squad. In the last issue, Scout ended up dead.
Oh shit! Which one was Scout?
Scout was another Wolverine clone, another Laura clone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so she ended up dead, and the kids are like, "Oh my god, what the fuck?" And they don't know what happened, but they're like, "Hey, well, if we take her to the resurrection, room or whatever, maybe we can find out what she remembers last." But they're like, but she's a clone. The council's not going to let us, resurrect her. So they decide to do it themselves,
Oh, okay.
So, and then there's a moment. Yeah. So Rain has been hanging out with Farouk. So Farouk, the Shadow King, has been like hiding out on Krakoa, sort of, you don't know what he's doing. He's basically trying to say he wants to help these kids, but you don't know why. And he's saying some shit about like the Shadow King has only limited power. So you're not sure what he's really up to. And then Rain has been talking to him too. So there's a moment where Karma and Rain have a moment, and Karma's like, "Yo, you can't be hanging out with Farouk." And she's like,
hanging out. Yeah. Okay.
And she's like, "Motherfucker, you tried to resurrect your brother, motherfucker. Like, who the fuck are you?"
Right.
Like, we're all assholes here. The council is full of assholes. Like, I can't hang out with Farouk, but we got Magneto and Sinister on our fucking leading our nation and shit. Like, it was like pointing out that hypocrisy back to what I was saying. It was, yeah, the X-Men are Nazis.
Pretty much. I've been saying it from the beginning. They're the fucking Brotherhood, man. They're not X-Men.
Yeah, they're all like fascists, kidnapping kids and forcing them to come to Krakoa and shit. So basically we cut back to the kids, trying to sneak into the corn husk room or whatever to resurrect Scout, and they find Rain. Rain's waiting for her, or Rain waiting for them. Like, what are you doing here? And then it cuts to Danny and Karma saying, "We got to talk about Rain." So yes, Warpath.
He always has been. He always has been. I mean, like I said, he corrupted Storm when she was a kid.
Yeah, so, for some reason, they're kind of alluding that maybe the Shadow King is being held at bay. So you don't know if it's Farouk or the Shadow King who's really speaking to these kids, and we don't know who killed. Because last issue, Scout was talking to Farouk, and then she ended up dead. We don't know what happened. She just ended up dead after talking to Farouk. Warpath, that was some like he even says, like, in that scene where they're with the kid, they're like, "Okay, we're not going to kidnap your child, but she has powers and she needs to learn how to use them, or she's going to keep fucking up your town." But so what we're going to do is we're going to leave a doorway to Krakoa. We can come back here and train her, and she can come and go as she pleases. She doesn't have to stay there. And in fact, we can get it approved where y'all can come over too. So Warpath is like being cool about the whole thing. Shit. So this is like the first I've been kind of coming and going with this new Mutant series. This is the first issue where I actually gave a shit what was happening.
Not gonna happen, Cliff. Not gonna happen. They already named the plane after him, so they can't bring him back.
Yeah. So yeah, this is probably my book of the week. Out of all the shit that I read, I was like, wow. So this is a 5 out of 5 for me.
Gotcha. So this wash the taste of Moon Knight out of your mouth. So yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm up on deck. Okay. So the book I'm going to do is okay. I like this book, Eli. This is Blue and Gold #1.
I didn't read. Everyone's saying they like this book, and I didn't.
I like this book, man. I saw it. I saw that it was Dan Jurgens, the original. For those who don't know who Blue and Gold is Booster Gold and Blue Beetle. And the book was written by Dan Jurgens, who was the creator of Booster Gold. So it's in that whole style buddy cop thing that they were trying to go for the whole time. So let's just jump into it. What do we got here? Okay, so we got Blue and Gold. So basically how the book starts out, like I said, is first book, not an origin story, but basically how the book starts out. Now, Eli, I don't know how well you know Booster Gold, but Booster Gold has a shtick. He has a gimmick. The thing is, he wants to be famous. He wants to be rich and famous. He wants to be the most popular superhero in the world. So while he's fighting bad guys, he's live streaming. But the thing is, the bad guy he's fighting, this ship has this like antenna up that is stopping broadcast signals from going through. So the first thing he does is take out the antenna so he can start his live stream up again. So he can get on Facebook and TikTok and Twitter and all stuff like that. And so he shoots the guy. He was like, yeah, you get mad at me for wanting to get my live stream. I gotta get my numbers up because I'm not Batman. I'm not rich, So the book starts off and he's fighting this monster. He's fighting this alien, and this alien ship has kidnapped the Justice League. That's why Justice League aren't helping out. So he kidnapped them. While they're doing it, we see y'all kind of like comment, like a chat room going crazy, stuff like that. Just talk about Booster Gold. Yeah, he sucks. Looking out. Where's Superman? Stuff like that. And then when the robot starts beating his ass, they're like, oh man, it's like the time like when Doomsday beat his ass. Now, fun fact about Booster Gold: Superman was not the first person to fight Doomsday. Booster Gold was, but it wasn't really a fight because Doomsday just beat him with a car and threw him into space. But still happened. So while that all happened, and his robot butler Skeets decides to go and get help, while Booster Gold's getting his ass. So that's when he goes to Ted Kord. Ted Kord is I think his dad was killed in a Suicide Squad comic. I think we reviewed that book. Deadshot, Killing, Bloodshot, one of those guys. Anyway, Skeet shows up. He was like, Booster Gold needs your help. He was like, I'm not a superhero. He like, look, you need help us. So he gets his superhero suit, turns into Blue Beetle, goes there, helps him out, fights him, and there you go. You got Blue and Gold. They're the team. And so they come up with a plan to take down this ship, get inside the ship and go rescue the Justice League. So the Justice League are kidnapped. They go in there, and Booster Gold his wheels already turning. He was like, man, if I would live stream this when we rescue the Justice League, they'd be the biggest stream ever, and I'll be nationwide. You're like, yeah, but if you get yourself killed while trying to rescue Justice League, that's going to be live stream also, So the Justice League are there. Booster was like, I don't recognize any of these guys. Like, I know Batman, but who's the black chick? Why is Hippolyta here? He didn't know anybody there, So anyway, Booster Gold not Booster Gold. Blue Beetle comes up with the plan to rescue Justice League. Basically what he does, because they said they have 12 minutes before the ship goes into hyperspace and goes 1 trillion miles away from Earth. And if that happens, there's no way to get back. So they have to rescue Justice League before that happens. Blue Beetle finds some kind of thing, hacker or whatever like that. He hacks into the system, frees the Justice League, and that's it. Anyway, Justice League is free. So Booster Gold is like, okay, so we rescued the Justice League. You know what that means. Of course, they're going to invite us on. So while that's going on, Black Adam tells Booster Gold, we need to go clean up the debris. We need to clean up debris. So while he cleans up the debris, thinking he's part of Justice League, the rest of Justice League, now that we have one-on-one time with you, Blue Beetle, let's offer you a chance to be on Justice League. You want to be on part of the team? And Blue Beetle's just like, yeah, man, we on the team. I can't wait to tell Booster. He's going to be so happy about it. And they look at him like, no, not Booster. Just you. We don't want Booster Gold on the team. Like, he's obnoxious. He's irritating. Batman doesn't say shit, And so Booster goes, and Blue Beetle's just like, look, we're a two-man team. If Booster's not on the team, I'm not on the team. And Justice League's like, okay, well, fuck you then, basically. So Booster asks, well, I was cleaning up with Black Adam, so what happened? And Blue Beetle tells them, well, they turned us down. I asked them why we couldn't be on the team, but they said we weren't Justice League material. He was like, man, screw them. We're gonna do our own 2-man team, buddy cop, live stream. We're gonna help our people. We don't need the Justice League. We're gonna be so popular, so big that Justice League gonna come back and beg us to be on the team. And that's when you get that scene. Like I always say, Migo, bros before rose. Am I right? Anyway, we get to the last page, and apparently we find out the aliens that were trying to get them, and some chick named Amazon, whatever. Anyway, she's just like, we trying to kidnap Earth's heroes so we can take over Earth, but since we got stopped, we need to find out who stopped us. And that's when they're going to go back there. Anyway, that was it. So yeah, like I said, this is what a Booster Gold Blue Beetle comic will be. It's supposed to be comedy, buddy cop. This is just like the old Justice League International books from the 80s, which were just a bunch of comedy books anyway. So that's what this was. It was just good-hearted. So let me see, what do we got here? Didn't Ted get okay? I'm glad you brought that up, Cliff. Let me explain what happened, why Ted Cord is still alive, even though Maxwell Lord did blow his brains out. He needed internet signal. Booster Gold Blue Beetle, buddy action comedy, waiting to happen in film TV. And that's my thing. 616, man. Thank you. You were saying exactly what I'm thinking. DC is sitting on characters they can do. They don't have to crank out Batman after Batman after Batman. You got if you make a Booster Gold and Blue Beetle TV show, movie, you got a hit. If you do it right, if you cast the right people with it. Now back to Cliff about how Ted Cord is still alive. You guys got to blame real. Okay, so for those that know, back in Infinite Crisis, back in the early 2000s, Maxwell Lord blew Blue Beetle's brains out. However, he is back now because the universe rebooted with New 52. So never happened. There you go. All right, what you got, Eli?
Should I do Nightwing?
You did Nightwing? I forgot you had Nightwing.
I
yeah.
did Nightwing, man. Yeah, okay, I finally caught up on the Taylor run.
Tom Taylor, y'all.
Yeah. So we get a retcon.
No,
we get a retcon. Yes. So last issue. So what's been going on? Nightwing has been investigating Zuko's daughter. What the fuck's her name? Anyway, she's running for mayor. Zuko was the mobster that killed his parents. His daughter is now running for mayor, but she has been in cahoots with like Blockbuster and other gangsters and shit. So she is kind of corrupt. At least that's what they're alluding to. So last issue, he goes and sneaks into her office, and then she finds him and hits him over the head with a bat, knocks him out, and then says, "Hey, I'm your sister."
Wait, what?
Yeah. So
wait, whoa, back there. Oh, you lost me. Who's sister?
Zuko is Dick's sister.
No.
So
no.
we get a flashback where she basically takes, maybe my mother should tell you about this. So she meets Zuko's mom, this Asian lady. And she's like, "Oh, you look just like your father." Turns out that this chick's mom, was like a sex trafficking victim, and was like kidnapped by Zuko's mob back in the day. And at one point, he took her to the circus, and she ran away and hid in the Grayson's trailer. And what's his name? John, Dick's dad. Basically fought off the mob and like protected her and shit. And basically she ended up joining the circus for a while. This is before
Dick's moms.
This is before they were together. So they were, so they knocked boots one night and she got knocked up, but then
Zuko found her.
Zuko found her and took her back and, raised the kid as if it was his own daughter and shit. And then, and now she's mayor now. So, and then of course, always had it in for Dick's parents and then went back and killed.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a retcon, but I'm digging the retcon. Yeah.
It's not bad. It's really not bad. It's not
make it personal. Yeah. So he basically went back specifically to kill the Grace, because before the story was that I was just gonna fuck up the circus. The Grayson died is fine, but you saying he went after the Grayson specifically? Okay.
Yeah. And I think it's because he found out that kid wasn't his daughter.
But he raised anyway, right?
Yeah. So yeah, this is a really moving scene where like Dick is talking to this chick's mom, and she's like, I'd like, do I tell this woman that her daughter is in league with the mob and all this shit? So he's kind of conflicted. And then all of a sudden there's a knock on the door, and it's Blockbuster and his cronies and shit.
Let me blow it up. Okay. Oh, Blockbuster. Oh, he's suited out and stuff like that. Okay, yeah. He's trying to be Kingpin now. Okay.
Yeah, and then then to be continued. So
Nightwing
I enjoyed
versus Blockbuster. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, this Tom Taylor run is pretty cool, So yeah, 4 out of 5.
See. When retcons are done right. Yeah, I don't mind a retcon if it's done right. If it's interesting, you bring something to the lore. Like I said, this is good. And the thing is, when you do retcons like this, yeah, Tom Taylor's doing it, but the next writer after this is probably gonna ignore that shit. So let Tom Taylor write whatever the fuck he wants to write. That's fine. Honestly, he writes best when he doesn't give a shit about continuity anyway. So Marvel and DC love their retcons reboot. Yeah, but like I said, we just talked about Blue Beetle.
Yeah, and it's not nothing like he changed something major. Like, it's not like, he didn't shit on the Graysons or anything, or that, or any of that they were mobbed up or whatever. You know what I mean? It's just
and plus, even if he did, how many variations of Batman's origin do we have?
Yeah.
One time, Joe Chill it was a hitman. One time he just caught him in an alley. You can have different stories. It's fine. It doesn't affect anything.
Yeah.
Just whatever
as long as the main plot point is still there.
Right. Zuko killed his parents. Boom. That's it. So that's all that matters. Okay. So next book I have here. Last book I got. And so this is like I said, I've been doing these James Bond books. I actually missed one book because I think we were doing like a Black Widow, I think, or something like that. I can't remember what we were doing, but I missed one issue. So in this issue we're coming up right now, I kind of don't know what the fuck was going on, but I'm gonna just pick it up the best way I can, and we're just gonna go from there. So let's see. So this is James Bond, Agent of Spectre number 5, and this is the last issue of this book, of this run we're doing, because after this, they go to something else completely different. So where we left off is that, like I said, I must have missed something, because James Bond and Blofeld have been cornered by Tatiana, a chick that they've been trying to like start a civil war in Spectre with Blofeld, and she's got Bond and Blofeld cornered, and she's just basically like, Blofeld, you're gonna die no matter what happens, but I need help getting off this island of Greece. So say you'll help me and I'll let your men live. He's like, yes, my men, I've been doing everything for my men. I take care of their kids. I take care of their grandmas, and I know they would die for me. In fact, I think they will right now. And so he hits something in the ring, boom, his men explode. So give him a chance for him and Bond to like cause a diversion. They just go to work, just knocking people out. Tatiana and Bond are having a showdown, but she's wearing like some kind of, I don't know, Halo Doom armor or some shit like that, And basically Bond is just like, yeah, this won't go well the last time. I'm trying to remember what she said. Yeah, this not good enough. That's what she's saying. But the thing is, she's saying that's what I told you last time we met, not good enough. But the last time they met each other was when they had sex. So kind of like a slight burn for Bond. But anyway, she's shooting back at Bond. Bond grabs a henchman and uses him as a body shield. But he says he knows that suit, so he's does some stuff to face back out of the way. Anyway, Blofeld shoots away at it because he's trying to get away. And I'm gonna just skip to the end. Some other shit happens. Basically, Bond and Blofeld. Oh yeah, does he kill Tatiana? He does kill Tatiana. Okay, so Bond takes out Tatiana because he knows the weakness of that Halo armor she's wearing and shit like that. And he basically saying, if I take you back to MI6, you got to tell me everything that's going on with Spectre. She's like, yeah, cool. I'll take him down. Boom. Blofeld shoots her in the head. He was like, Bond, everything you did, I wanted you to do. I wanted you to bring her here. I wanted you so I can kill her. I knew you're going to screw me over, so I don't really care. But because you did bring her here, I will still honor our deal. I will give you your money, let you retire if you just walk away. Of course, Bond doesn't do that. Bond stands up. He's like, there's no escaping. So him and Bond have their one-on-one fights. So like that, they fight. He's just like, you can't leave. Fire all over. Exactly. He smacks Blofeld, but Blofeld is basically like Bane, and none of that shit works on him. Enough. You can't stop me. I'm too strong. he's like some kind of overpowering beast, you know, throws him and shit like that. And that's when Bond tells him, yeah, you can beat me, but you standing in the wrong spot. And he looks to the left and he's like, boom, because explosions have been going off left and right. So Blofeld gets caught in an explosion. You get your Bond kill. Anyway, so he runs out, catches the boat that Blofeld was going to catch, snap the guy's neck. Oh, yeah, your boss ain't coming. Snap that guy's neck, take the boat, and rides off while the entire island blows up. And so Bond looks back at the island. He's like, yeah, that does look beautiful. He's like, yeah, I could do what Blofeld said. Since Spectre is gone, I could just leave MI6, retire, go somewhere else, find some chick tanning on the thing, and just, you know, do that for the rest of my life. He was like, nah, I'm not gonna live that much longer anyway. So he just goes back to MI6, debriefs, tells, and basically said everything that happened. All the people I killed in America, they're just gonna blame it on Spectre. So the end. Oh, and there is a spoiler ending, well, a stinger ending, because they go in Switzerland and they're talking, and this is Spectre, and they're basically saying, yeah, we got hit, but we're not done. We got Tatiana's replacement, whoever this guy is right here. They never mentioned his name. And what do you think about that? Number one, and number one shows up, and it is Blofeld, still alive, face disfigured, and he's just saying, now let's get back to business, now that everybody thinks I'm dead. And that's the book. Yeah, this issue kind of, I don't know, I was expecting more, because I was enjoying the other issues. This kind of petered out, I guess. I don't know, but still a funny issue overall. I might pick up Rodney Barnes, because I think Rodney Barnes, what does Rodney Barnes write? Philadelphia?
Oh, I don't know.
I think so.
I haven't read that in a while.
Are y'all going to review Static? Of course we're going to review Static. Actually, Gabe, I get Static free on DC Unlimited, DC Infinite, whatever that shit is. Bonds bring the girl, loses the girl, also kicks ass. Yeah, he kills the girl. Well, actually, he didn't kill the girl. Blofeld kills the girl, but whatever. So yeah, that's my whole thing about that. So I like the run, but this ending kind of sucked. That's just me. So I'm booked out. That's all I got. Yeah. So
all right. Well, I got a couple left. I'll go through this one real quick. This is Dark Blood, number 1.
I saw that. I almost picked it up, but
Boom Studios. Yes. Basically, in the 1950s, this black dude, ex-war, kind of like Lovecraft Country. He's an ex-war vet, World War II fighter pilot, who somehow some sort of event called the Variance, he gets powers. And it's in 50s, and some racist guy's being an asshole, and he discovers he has superpowers, and they're not electric.
I guess he just went, I'm black and I don't have electric powers.
He's got some sort of telekinesis thing, you know, where he can move
load it up.
like Magneto, only with everything, not just metal shit.
Okay.
You know? So yeah, he's he like lifts, you know, telekinesis type shit. You know.
Okay, cool. That's different. Yeah.
Yeah, and basically, yeah, he can stop a bullet. Yeah, dude shoots him and shit, and he like stops the bullet.
Nice. Okay,
so
like Neo. Okay.
Neo shit. Yeah, and then the guy goes running out, and the guy, you know, the white guy goes running, and he gets hit by a car, and the guy goes and checks on him, and he's like, you know, hey, what the fuck, you know, you killed them. He's like, no, I didn't. And then he goes running off. And then there's also flashbacks of him in the war where I think something happened to him in the war. That's how he got his power. So he gets struck by, he gets shot down, but there's like a lightning strike, and that might be where he got his powers from.
Oh, so lightning is involved some kind of way with the black girl. Okay.
But yeah, he's got some power, some abilities. Kind of vague at first, but kind of a cool scene. This was written by, what's her name? Latoya Morgan. I guess she's a writer for TV shows like Shameless, I think Walking Dead, and some other shit.
Okay, so she's a TV writer dipping her toe in the comics. Okay,
yeah.
I mean, I'm seeing a lot of folks doing that nowadays.
Yeah, and you can kind of tell that this is a movie. Like, it's basically one movie scene, like the opening movie scene to a larger story with some little bits of flashbacks in between. So yeah, I enjoyed it. I'm probably gonna check out the second issue because I thought this was kind of cool. So that's a 4 out of 5. And then my last thing I'm gonna review. Let me get this big boy out.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Whip it out. Put it on the table.
Look at this motherfucker.
Bam.
So I pre-ordered this like 6 months ago, around Christmas time. It was basically my kind of a Christmas present to myself. And it finally came in. I totally forgot about it. It finally came in the other day.
Christmas in July.
Yeah, Christmas in July. Yeah, Dark Blood does feel like a TV show, like it could turn into something. So this is Anthrax, the Among the Living graphic novel. Big, thick, and girthy. Look how big this fart. It doesn't even fit. I gotta go like turn it sideways. Like it's bigger than my head.
That's what she said.
Look at the girth on this thing. So, Anthrax is one of my favorite bands of all time. I'm a metal guy. I grew up listening to these guys. Among the Living is one of their classic albums. Classic metal album, a thrash metal classic. And this is like the 35th anniversary of the album. So they decided to do a graphic novel inspired by the songs off the album. And it's written and drawn by, we got Grant Morrison, we got Rick Remender, we got Brian Azzarello, we got Freddie Williams II, we got Brian Posehn, Eric Powell, a lot of big name artists.
Got some heavy hitters on there.
Yeah, came out to do this. And this is put out by Z2 Comics, and they've been doing a lot of music comic books. Like I think Public Enemy has a comic, like a graphic novel coming out that they're doing. Cypress Hill. A lot of bands and rap artists are coming out with these graphic novels, and Z2 Comics are the ones doing it. So yeah, so basically this is just huge, and just the artwork is pretty cool, but every chapter is inspired by a song off the album. Among the Living. Now, Anthrax, like I said, one of my favorite bands of all time. They were all comic book geeks, even back then. Like I've mentioned this before. That's how I heard about Ninja Turtles, because of them. They were fans of comic books. They were putting Ninja Turtle decals on their guitars. So before the cartoon ever came on, I heard about the Ninja Turtles from these guys. They wrote songs about Judge Dredd. Wrote songs about horror movies, about Stephen King. Among the Living is about The Stand, Stephen King's The Stand. So yeah, they were basically a bunch of nerds in a metal band writing songs about nerdy shit. And so basically every chapter is inspired by a song. What's that guy's name? Gerard Way?
Yeah, the Umbrella Academy guy.
That dude.
Yeah.
I don't like his band, and I never really read any of his comics, but his story for Caught in the Mosh was pretty cool. They have a song called Caught in the Mosh, which is basically about, getting, when you're stuck in a shitty situation, persevering through obstacles and stuff. Kind of what the song's about. But he wrote this story about some weird futuristic totalitarian world where like kids are forced to mosh, to be in a mosh pit to power the city with electricity.
Okay.
And yeah, like they're like these like stormtrooper soldiers are like, they got them at like gunpoint, like making them mosh like all day and shit. At one point there's like a uprising, but then the government shoots them down, and they're just continue to be caught in a mosh for the man or whatever. I thought that was pretty clever. I Am the Law, which is about Judge Dredd. There's a Judge Dredd comic in here, pretty cool. Written by Scott Ian, who is the guitarist. Scott Ian he's a well-known comic book fan. He's actually been in some movies. He's actually a zombie on The Walking Dead. So he's popped up and shit. But yeah, there's a Judge Dredd comic in here. Pretty cool. Some horror stuff. What's that one? What did Rick Remender wrote a song, Efil Nikufesin, NFL, which is nice fucking life spelled backwards. He wrote this story about a comedian who makes a deal with the devil and shit. That was pretty cool. Rick Remender did that. There's a Skeletons in the Closet. Corey Taylor, the singer of Slipknot, wrote this horror story about the skeletons in the closet. Now that song was inspired by At Pupil, the Stephen King book about the Nazi. Ian McKellen played him in the movie.
Okay.
And Indians. So yes, Anthrax wrote a song called Indians, which is about the plight of Native Americans. And I was really interested to see what they did for this book. So yeah, this was written by Grant Morrison. Yeah. And drawn by Freddie Williams II.
Okay.
And basically you have a futuristic planet, that's sort of like went back to its natural setting and got rid of all the humans because the humans were destroying the environment. But you have like these like kind of indigenous like hero characters sort of watching over the world now. And talking about how the world ridded itself of the human plague and healed itself. Now all the, you can see like, the buildings have turned into mountain ranges and shit. And they sort of, these like, they're flying around sort of protecting the earth and shit. And then there's like these like mutant redneck monster beings that are like kidnapping the kids. And they're saying how these mutants try to live off of the old world. The poison, like try to live off the technology, the old ways of the old world.
Right.
And and then these heroes rescue the kids, and then they have a powwow at the end and shit. And then he's just talking about how they're here to protect the earth, all that shit. So it would have been cool if they got a native artists and writers to write it, but I do appreciate Grant Morrison's white guilt, so I thought that. But basically that's what's it. Rob Zombie had a story in here that was really crazy. Brian Azzarello's had a space story and shit. Robot in space and shit. It was just just a fun. If you're a fan of Anthrax, it's cool. It's cool. And if you're a comic fan, like I said, I love this band, one of my all-time favorite bands. I bought the deluxe edition, so it came with like a shirt, a bunch of like art prints and shit, a LP, like an actual picture disc vinyl LP of the record of the album Among the Living. Yeah, here's some like the prints. Here's the Judge Dredd print. Here's a variation. So Greg Nicotero, who's he's a special effects artist who worked on a bunch of horror movies. He's also worked on The Walking Dead. He drew the new Knot Man on the cover there. That's and it's on this cover too. So that was Greg Nicotero who drew that. So yeah, I mean, I thought that was really, it was like, again, Christmas in July. So literally, so yeah. So if you're into Anthrax, check it out. And like I said, check out Z2 Comics, letter Z and the number 2 comics. Like I said, Cypress Hill, Public Enemy, a bunch of other metal bands. They're doing comic books based on their music. So, go check it out.
Nice. Okay. If you got any more or
no, I'm booked out.
Booked out. Okay, cool. Like I said, I'm booked out also. Appreciate everybody listening in, commenting, giving us a good vibe. If you listen this long, definitely like, share, subscribe, let people know about the podcast, or just mention us or whatever you want to do. Good news that for people that did get a chance to listen to our podcast on Facebook last week, I just got an alert while we were recording that Warner Brothers lifted the ban on the Facebook episode of last week. So that's up available now. Warner Brothers.
What did we do for Warner Brothers?
I don't know. I can't remember. What did we do? Biz Markie. Biz Markie used to record for Warner Brothers.
Okay.
He's on Warner Brothers.
We talked about Dune this week. I wonder if they're going
to. Yeah, they shouldn't ban it. But since I played a Biz Markie clip, they banned it. But I appealed it, and they just now responded to the appeal. So that episode is back up now. So yeah. Like I said, next week, I think I don't know what comes out. We'll keep the ball rolling. If Static is up, we'll definitely talk about Static. There's some more books we'll talk about that. And I'm pretty sure some wild stuff from now till next week can go from there. Hold on, let's see. Hey, what about Avengers games? Is it doing anything? Avengers game is free right now, Gabe. I'm pretty sure you already know that because you got the game. They have the boss battle with Monica Rappaccini, whatever her name. I can't remember her name. Yeah, she's from the MODOK thing. And I think Black Panther drops in August, I think. I'm not really sure. I think it drops in August. Of course, if that happens, I'm a live stream. I'm definitely going to have that up and going because everybody's going to be on that. So, yeah, appreciate everybody listening. We'll follow you next week. Until then, this is Leroy.
This is Eli.
And we will talk to you guys next week. Same bully time, same bully channel.